All right, good morning, everybody. We are live with Tom Crotti. We are doing an interview for our classroom. Again, this is an opportunity to stay connected with our AMP business partners. And Tom works for a company called Cambridge International and also Rexnord. All right, so hi, Tom. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing great. So let's begin. At Cambridge International, what's your official title now? What are you doing?
I am a manufacturing manager, which is a glorified production manager. So
All right.
not only do I oversee the personnel, I oversee all the product lines and how they flow through the manufacturing facility.
All right. And I have been there. Our students haven't been there yet, but we might be able to put together a little virtual tour.
That's it.
But
Well,
you definitely have many different production lines there.
I could tell you this, Keith, right now, if you want. WBOC ran a tour, and it is available on their website. So
Oh, great.
might be able to show the students that, or
Yeah, that sounds cool.
the link to that.
All right. So what exactly does Cambridge International Rexnord do?
Well, Cambridge International is a business that was acquired by Rexnord Industries. Rexnord Industries is a very large corporation, has facilities worldwide, and we are a holding of Rexnord Cambridge International. So what Cambridge International does is we're the world's largest metal conveyor belt manufacturer. We also have a product line which is architectural mesh, which takes that conveyor belt line and produces a decorative type mesh that is hung on buildings, parking garages, and interiors.
All right. That's cool. Now let's see. Who are your main customers?
We service all industry, but what is really relevant right now during this pandemic is the food industry.
Mm-hmm.
We service end users as well as distribution. So you see JR Simplot, which supplies potatoes to McDonald's and a lot of the fast food markets. Nabisco, Pepperidge Farms, you name it. Wesson Oil, pretty much any food that we consume, we produce the conveyor belts that carry it.
That's cool. Definitely important right now.
Yep.
So those are your main customers. Now, what about as far as the architectural mesh?
Architectural mesh is a product that serves the architectural market. So our customers there are architects, namely in big cities. New York City is one of our bigger cities that we service. We do work in California and Las Vegas. So that's some of our bigger cities. Well, California is a state, but
yeah, right.
Some of our bigger cities and states. But again, it's anywhere where there's a lot of tourism for the most part because it is a decorative product.
All right. So its main purpose is just to draw your attention to that building, to that structure.
That is the main purpose. Yeah, there is some other purposes to it. Sun shading.
Mm-hmm.
Also in parking garages, maybe to keep the trash from going into a parking garage. We've done some buildings in Saudi Arabia that had some blast-proof type applications.
Because they got a lot of sandstorms and stuff there.
Yep.
I've been there. I know.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as the architectural mesh, you recently completed a project in Baltimore, and that was the M&T Bank Stadium. That's the home of the Baltimore Ravens. What was that about?
So the Ravens organization wanted to put up a decorative mesh in the front of their stadium. And I believe you have some pictures with that you can share to the class.
Yes, I'm going to share some pictures.
And it was strictly decorative. So they sat down, the architects will sit down with the salespeople, present or propose what they would like to see on their building based off a sample, so architectural samples that we provide. And then they picked a sample of a mesh that they liked, and then they came up with an idea of design that could be etched on that mesh. And that went back and forth between what looked the idea that they had formulated in their head versus a sketch or a CAD drawing to see what it would actually look like on their building.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they ended up deciding on a design that looked like a wing, feathers.
Yes, and that very nice looking. Now, weren't they originally going to try and go with a Maryland flag, and they changed their mind?
Yeah, so there was a Maryland flag. There was a Baltimore Ravens helmet design,
Mm-hmm.
Ravens design. Again, these are all just the brainstorming session. Just like you do in the classroom, trying to figure out, what's going to sell for the most part.
Yes.
And what looks good on paper might not look as good on the product itself.
Right.
So the very end result was the feathers, the wing, satisfied the need, the vision of the customer, but also looked very nice on the mesh.
They do. I noticed that it looks very, very subtle. So it's not something that jumps out and says boo, but it blends very well with the building. So it doesn't distract from it, Yeah,
so. It definitely shows up a lot better at night when they shine the Ravens purple lights on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it does really pop in the evening.
All right. So my next question is, how did you end up in manufacturing? Was that what you set out to do when you were graduating high school? How'd you get there?
Well, when I was in middle school, very long time ago, personal computers were just really starting to come out. So your first Apple, your Commodore computers at the time, your first Tandy. And being a young teenager, I really wanted to get into computer programming. I was pretty sharp with math. So the programming and the math went hand in hand. But as I got a little older, my later teens, college just wasn't something that I was desiring to go into right away. Having said that, in my time, college scholarships weren't as readily available.
Yeah.
So there was a financial piece there as well. So you take the financial piece and you take an older teenager who's not quite sure what he wants to do with himself. And at that point, I put the college plans on hold. And I was fortunate enough for the high school that I went to that they had a vocational program that you could attend full day senior year. So I decided to take that route because I already had enough credits to graduate anyway. And I looked at two offerings. I looked at welding and looked at machine shop practices. And I ended up deciding on machine shop practices. So that's how I got into manufacturing.
Mm. Now, did you immediately get hired with Cambridge? Is that the only place you've ever been, or?
Oh, no. So I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, southern Lancaster County. And
you're not Amish, are you?
No, I'm not. No.
I get asked that too. I'm from Pennsylvania. Like, are you Amish? No.
I could say I grew up and was around a lot of Amish. But no, I forget the question, Keith. Help me out here.
How'd you get to Cambridge?
So anyway, I graduated in southern Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I started right out into the machining trade in mostly job shops, which are non-production shops. You build a piece at a time or a couple pieces at a time. I started out manual machining, so that was non-computer controlled machining. And from there, that's how I learned the craft. And then eventually I evolved into the computer controlled machining. And then in my early 20s, decided I wanted to make a big change. And I found a job in Cambridge, Maryland. So that's how I ended up down in Maryland. The job I took at Cambridge, Maryland was a machine shop that was a spin-off machine shop from the company that I currently work at. So it was kind of unique. Down to work at a machine shop that was housed in the company that I currently work in, but it wasn't part of the company itself. And I did that for 2 years. And at that time, I wanted to make a change. And having that close relationship with the company I currently work at, it was a very easy transition to move from one to the other. So,
all right. And so now, when you joined Cambridge, were you still working in a machine shop, or what was your first position there?
Yeah. So when I made the transfer from the machine shop, the spin-off machine shop, back into the Cambridge business, at the time I was a machinist and a project manager, and Cambridge hired me on as a manager to take a small machine shop that they had and turn it into a very large computer-controlled machine shop.
Oh, that's cool. So that machine shop was making parts for the machines that were going to create the wire mesh conveyors, right?
That's correct. Yep. We built our own custom machines, and to this day, we still do.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty amazing. So I guess if you built your machines, then if anything breaks, it's very easy to replace them because you created the parts.
That's correct. So we have the drawings in-house. We can either produce the parts in-house on the equipment we have, or we can vend it out to local manufacturers.
And like I said, I've been there. I've seen some of those machines. Some of those machines look like they're about as long as a semi truck. I mean,
oh yeah,
there's some big machines in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So my role right now is every day going around and individually talking to 120 something people and making sure they're in a good state of mind, making sure that I'm doing everything I can to support them, and also show appreciation for them coming to our facility during these times. So
yeah, so you're still producing, they're still coming, and
yeah. In fact, we yesterday I went around and established a very strong, ever-timed scheduled first and second shift for next week. So we're ramping up our hours at this point. And we're going to be putting more hours than we normally do in the facility during a time of concern. So it's definitely a lot of the personal interaction has to take place.
Well, definitely you're supporting a very, very important industry, obviously. And so I could understand that. So let's say somebody, comes to work at Cambridge and has maybe been there, I don't know, maybe a year or something like that. What are the things that they can do to be very, very successful at Cambridge and also have, opportunities to move up and progress within the company? What are the behaviors for success there?
Behaviors, you touched that. That's good, because that's primarily the thing you need to have. You need to have a good behavior. You need to have good attitude, positive attitude, a good outlook, self-driven, somebody that desires to take it upon themselves to learn more and to apply for other opportunities. Attendance is huge. Very strict on attendance, like most companies.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to make sure you get in every day. You're in by time. You're taking your lunch and your breaks in timely fashions. And again, very positive attitude that will help you learn more and interact better with others. And then it's just that desire to continue to grow if that person wants to grow.
Right. I gotcha.
So
I guess if you come in and you do what you're supposed to do, it should be very easy to move up. It's usually the people who don't exactly do what they're supposed to do that have problems, right?
That's true. So we recognize those that perform, and any kind of opportunities that arise, they're going to be the first to get the offerings. We also recognize those that don't perform, and they're going to be the individuals that we need to manage up or out the door. So we do have people that are enjoy what they do and don't desire to grow, are very good at what they do and have good attitudes, and that's fine. We can leave people in those positions. There's a need there for that.
Now, if I remember correctly, there's also a reward for ingenuity. So, for instance, if you were working on a particular machine or working in a line, and you said, I wonder, can we do this better? And you came up with a way that would save the company money, the company rewards that person with a bonus or something, correct?
That's correct. We have a bunch of different methods for recognition there. Sometimes it's as basic as a thank you, gift card, but we also have continuous improvement. We have idea funnels in the continuous improvement realm. Some from that, there is monies that are given out, different levels. But if your idea is, if your idea is a product, a new product, and that comes to fruition, then you have a good chance of having your name on a patent. We have a lot of patentable products at our company, and a lot of those patent products are ideas that came from the associates working on the machines every day. Out of that, there's different bonuses that come with that as well. I think the highest bonus that can be awarded for a patentable item is 2% of the first year sales on that item, which can be pretty huge when we're talking $80-90 million company. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So
there's definitely some incentive.
Yeah. So there's a lot of incentives that go on with ideas. Definitely recognized. So,
now you mentioned continuous improvement, which is actually one of my questions. What exactly is continuous improvement? Because we haven't really covered it much in my class.
Continuous improvement is just doing something that you do every day better, more efficient, easier, safer. So it's just improving it's just improvement upon that process or that way of working or that product. So it's just continually improving a product or process, a safety initiative, many different things. So
basically just asking yourself, can I do it better? What can I do to make this more efficient or better or faster, safer?
Yep.
I got you.
Yep. Just like in daily life, what do you do now? And how can you do it better, faster, safer, more efficient?
So I guess the enemy of continuous improvement would be the mindset, well, that's the way we've been doing it here for the last 20 years, and we aren't going to change now.
Yeah, so definitely continuous improvement is change. So change, some people gravitate towards change and some people shy away from change. Typically what you find is those that shy away from change are not comfortable trying something new, are very secure with how things have been done and how they will be done in their mind going forward. But as we know, we're evolving every day.
Yeah.
This COVID pandemic really showed us that we have to change, we have to improve, and hence this is the meeting that we're doing right now, this interview.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
This isn't normal. This isn't how this might be our new normal, but this is definitely a continuous improvement to be able to move forward with whatever challenges are faced. So.
All right. How about safety? What role does safety play at Cambridge International?
So we have a very strong safety culture. My goal is to make sure that everybody who comes in the facility leaves the same way they come in. So we definitely don't want anybody getting injured. So having said that, there's always continuous improvement opportunities for safety. So there's always something better that can be done to make something safer. Every associate is responsible for safety in our facility. So,
I remember walking through, obviously seeing all sorts of banners and posters, but I remember there was also a tracker that was like, 102 days since the last accident or whatever. What is that for?
It's just measuring. So it's a part of continuous improvement. So we have various metrics that a business captures and measures against. And one of those is safety. So we record recordables. How many recordable injury rates have we seen on a daily, weekly, yearly basis? And we take a look at that. So if it's something that is increasing or staying the same, you definitely need to improve upon it. And if it's something that's tailing off, that means that the actions you put in place are being effective. So it's just a way of measuring how we're performing every day on the safety standpoint.
All right. Well, Tom, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And I just want to say that you have been a blessing to me in the AMP program. I value your friendship. I appreciate your continuous support over the years. I love when you come in and speak with my class. And just thank you for everything you've done for us.
Great. I love it, Keith. I miss the human interaction, the face-to-face. For me, this is awkward for me, but this continuous improvement. So I'm learning every day. But I do miss the handshake. I do miss the face-to-face. I think, for me, I'm a much better performer in person. And, just to see somebody laugh in person is so much,
Yeah. And I
me.
miss your Legos, man. You come in and do the Lego demonstration.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll be back. This is we all have to have faith and a positive attitude going forth. I'm sure that after this we'll learn a lot and we'll be doing business differently going forward. But I'm hopeful that we get back to some of our old practices as well. So
yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for that. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I will see you later.
Thanks, Keith.